Hi, it's me, Daphne, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the books I hope to read in April. April is a very busy month for me. It's already the first as I'm filming this. I've been a little behind on my posting schedule. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to work really hard to get back on my at a minimum every 7 days schedule, and even 2 times a week if I can get through my backlist of videos that I filmed. With that all being said, let's jump into the books on my list. The first book I'm gonna talk about, guys, I finally started. I finally started Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, which is book 6 in the series. I am this far in, which is about a third, I'd say, and I'm enjoying myself. The plot is fascinating. I'm hooked. Book 5 was rough. Book 6, I'm back on board, okay? So I'm gonna be continuing this in April, and then I'm throwing this on here, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to the 7th one realistically with everything that's going on in my life, but it's on my radar, okay? I've got a lot of things I need to do. I quit some book club reads last month to help me find my passion for mood reading again, because all the obligations were killing me. I still have an obligation on this list, but I'm excited about that obligation. So I'll talk about that now. I'm planning on reading Morning Star, which is the 3rd book in the Red Rising series, as a part of Sam's Red Rising read-along that she's hosting. I am a quasi-host with her. I'm going to be on her live show, which should be scheduled for April 9th. So definitely jump on Sam's channel if you want to participate with us. I will link it down in the description, and I'll also link the live shows for Red Rising and Golden Sun, which we did the last 2 months. If you've recently read them and you want to catch up on our thoughts. We just talk about the book casually and chat and catch up, and yeah, it's really fun when you guys are there with us. What can I say about that book? The series is about a young man named Darrow who is in a lower class in this space-like hierarchy society. He is a red, and then it goes all the way up to gold. There's like a bunch of colors in between, and the golds are lying to all the other colors, specifically the reds, about the truth of what's going on in the solar system and kind of treating them like slaves. Darrow is working with this rebellion to try to dismantle the corruption in the society, and that is the premise of the book. He has transformed from a red to a gold, which was like kind of intense. It took a lot of surgeries and stuff. That all happened in the first book early on. It's kind of necessary for the plot. It's not super spoilery. It's what like kicks off the whole series, and he's manipulating the golds from within. So it gives Hunger Games vibes because it's like a corrupt society where people are always dying and all this stuff, but it's not, I don't know, like it moves a little bit away from that in the 2nd book, and I assume further away in the 3rd book. And I think there's like 7 books or something in the series. This is like the first trilogy, and then it moves on to another trilogy, and then I think there's one more book that has yet to be released. I'm a little confused, honestly. But we'll see. I'm enjoying it, and it's fun to read with Sam. A priority read that I want to get to for sure in April is The World We Make, which is the 2nd book in N.K. Jemisin's series, where the first one was called The City We Became, which was all about like the personification of New York City. If you've watched any of my other vlogs, you would know that I live in Manhattan here in New York City, and that book just hit so powerfully for me. I've been here for 4 years. It's just so fun to read a book about a city that you love and you know pretty well. I mean, obviously there are areas that like, the city is just so expansive. Like, it's hard to know every borough, and I think that's kind of shown in the book too, because the boroughs are very like divided in their own cultures, but they come together to be one city, and it literally makes me cry. I love it. I have that vlog coming out soon. I was filming all around the city. I've mentioned this a couple times, but it was literally taking me forever to get to all the locations for that vlog, but I finished filming, so we're moving on to the editing stage, and I really want to continue the series and get to this book, The World We Make, before the memory of the first book gets a little too fuzzy. You know, like I didn't read it that long ago. I read it probably like a month and a half, 2 months ago. But yes, hopefully I love this one just as much as I did the first one, which I'd given 5 stars. Wow, that was a bit rambly, but you know, we're chilling. The next book that I'm excited to get to in April is Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. This is a book of the month copy, and I heard really good things about this. One of my family members read this as well. I'm Jamaican, and I have Chinese Jamaican family members as well. So they grew up on the island and all that, and they said this book had a great representation of like the Caribbean life. Is Jamaica technically in the Caribbean? Oh, it is. Okay. Wow, I said something stupid at work because this guy was saying, I went to the Caribbean. And I was like, I haven't been to the Caribbean, but I've been to Jamaica. Whatever, I haven't been to all the Caribbean islands. Anyway, she said this book was a good representation of the Caribbean. And I started it like randomly one day. And I got to page 38. I got pretty far. And I was just hooked into the writing style. I'm fascinated. There's a little bit of a mystery element because it's a story about a mother who has passed and her adult children are listening to her audio recordings about her life prior to having them. They're learning like that they didn't really know their mom that well and that they have like a secret sister that she never told them about. And I was hooked. I mean, I'm only 38 pages in, so that's not spoilery at all. But I was like just really vibing with it, and the chapters are super short. So if you love a book with short chapters, like this is the book for you. And it just makes it that much more motivating to read because you feel like you're flying through. You're like, oh my God, these chapters are so short. I already read 5 chapters, you know what I mean? But I had to put it down to prioritize video projects, like the Harry Potter one that is literally going on a year long. At this point, I don't even know what month it was when I started it. It definitely wasn't 2024. But yeah, I do want to continue this at some point if I can make time for it. It's really good so far. That's like no romances. Have I put a single romance on here? No, I haven't. And I am a romance reader. So I was like, I need to change that. But first, before we change that, I'm going to quickly mention a book that I don't know if I'll finish in April, even though it's like not the longest thing ever. But I started it and I figure I'd mention it. And that is The Way of the Goddess by Ajmira, which is actually the sister of one of my really good friends. She is a Indian author and she's talking about these daily rituals. It says daily rituals to awaken your inner warrior and discover your true self. It has a lot of like feminist takes on the goddesses in Indian culture, but how it can be relevant whether you're a man or a woman or identify other. I just think it's interesting to learn about a different culture and gain a different type of perspective. I'm not really religious, but sometimes I can be into spirituality, and I just find different religions and spiritualities interesting to learn about. So yeah, interested to continue this and see if there are any practices that I would want to integrate into my own life. But let's get back to the romances, right? So I was like, I need to pick a romance that is on my physical TBR, and I decided to go with Wild Love by Elsie Silvers. I am just so excited. I'm so excited to move into her latest series. I think she already is publishing the 4th book in the series, which is so fast. When did this first one come out? This came out in 2024. Like, how fast is she writing these damn books? So this first one came out on April 9th, 2024, which is basically a year ago now. The 4th book is scheduled to be released September 9th this year, 2025. So that means she wrote 3 books. Okay. So her second one, she wrote September 3rd, 2024, and the 3rd one came out March 4th, 2025. She is so freaking fast. I am happy to have this physically in my hands. Hopefully I love this new group of love interests so I can continue the Rose Hill series and physically collect them because they're all these gorgeous monochrome colors. She's been driving him wild for years, the good kind of wild, the bad kind of wild. But mostly the kind of wild that comes with wanting your best friend's little sister and knowing you can't have her. Forbidden! And I think it's like musicians. It sounds like this guy owns a record label or something and he's a billionaire. He's a billionaire? Okay, yeah, he has a recording studio in a small town. That's all I need to know. I trust Elsie. I have so much fun reading her books, and I'm excited to get to this one in April. Then we move on to some ebooks, because I always gotta have an ebook going. Okay. The first romance I'm putting on there is The Best Thing by Mariana Zapata. This is me continuing my journey reading all of her books in order. This book, I really don't know that much about either. I was reading some reviews, and I think it might have been Jess from Peace Love Books didn't love this one, and it just like kind of turned me off from picking it up. Because I was ready to dive right in, and then I was checking the reviews and I was like, ooh, like maybe this isn't one of her better ones. It's about one of the friends from a previous story, so I've met her before, and I think she got ghosted on like a dating app or something, and she's really hung up on it. And from the reviews that I remember, maybe she was kind of being whiny, bitchy, moany, over dramatic about that incident for too long. But I'll power through. I want to continue my journey. Sometimes you have to get through the not stellar ones, but who knows, maybe I'll still really like it. Then I've decided to put The Air He Breathes on my TBR. This is by Brittany C. Cherry, who is a Black author. This is in the Elements series, and I've seen people talk about the third book in the series a lot, The Silent Waters, and I've put that on my TBR a long time ago, not realizing it was the third book. I'm the type of woman that likes to read things in order when I can help it, especially if it's a series. So I'm going back to the first one, which is The Air He Breathes. The synopsis on Goodreads really doesn't give that much. It just basically gives the vibe of a broken man who's cruel, cold, damaged, but the heroine, whose name isn't mentioned in the synopsis, is like, I couldn't stay away because I'm damaged too. So a little overdramatic in that sense. But who knows? Like, I haven't read a Brittany Cherry before. I'm very excited to try her out. Maybe it's not dramatic. Maybe it's like, damn, like maybe I really feel the trauma that these people have gone through in the story, and maybe it'll make me emotional and really love it. But it doesn't really tell you anything plot-wise. There's no plot description in here, so I can't tell you what it's about because I don't know. But once I read it, if I have time, I will inform you in a wrap-up. I'm putting The Devil in Her Bed on my TBR. This is a historical romance. It's a part of a series that I had read a while back, and I'm ready to continue. This is the third book in the Devil You Know series by Kerrigan Byrne. I really enjoyed the first one, How to Love a Duke in 10 Days. I gave that 5 stars. And then I read the second one and I didn't love it as much. I gave it 3 stars. So hopefully we can go back to loving it again with this third one. Considering that I read the series a while ago, I don't super remember the details of this heroine, but she was obviously mentioned. It's like 3 women who are in a friend group together. They're all like redheads, I'm pretty sure, is like the connecting thing with them. And I'm pretty sure this character has a stolen identity. Like, her friends know that she's not who she says she is. Like, she's taken over the life of somebody else. And then the hero is a part of the Secret Service for the Crown. It's their romance together. True love wears no disguise. Yeah. And then also it says, Francesca is a countess by day and stalks her prey, those responsible for the death of her family by night. Yeah, I think her true family was murdered. I don't know. We'll find out. But I'm excited. I really enjoyed this author's writing originally, and I have positive expectations, but like also tentative expectations. Those are all the books I hope to read in April. Like I said previously, there are some books from previous TBRs that I might slip into my reading plans if I'm in the mood for them, because at the end of the day, I am a mood reader and we're just here for a good time. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, and obviously it helps out my channel. And I will catch you in another video. Bye!